Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Factorio here in our step-by-step to Megabase series. In the previous episode we balanced the incoming raw resources in order to be able to completely sustain our current factory at full capacity. Soon enough we're going to run out of iron ore, and in order to build the next science pack we definitely need new ore patches to tap into. To do so, we're going to build a tank, which we just researched, and I'm also going for everything that we're going to require for the next science pack. So lubricant is going to be one thing that we need access to. If we have a look at the tank recipe, it is pretty easy. We just need a couple of advanced circuits and steel plates. At least those are the ingredients we are currently missing. And I'm just gonna grab a couple of circuits here, and that should be enough to build the tank. Wonderful. We're gonna plop this down right away. The good thing about the tank is it is more robust, and we can also drive through trees without getting hurt. Lubricant is already researched. We're also gonna need the electric engine. Let's get that going. Gonna fill up the tank with a little bit of coal. We actually have the space for 2 stacks. We also have the space for a couple of piercing round magazines, so I'm just gonna go ahead, collect these. We can input a stack into the tank right there. The other one would be flamethrower ammo. Another research is done. We're gonna get into robotics. We need the flying robot frame also for the science pack. Naturally, it's also gonna lead over into the next phase, which is robotics. Now we should think about building explosive cannon shells as well, just with steel plates, plastic bars and explosives. Next research is gonna be low density structures. Definitely one thing we need for the more advanced recipes. If we add a machine right here, ooh, what was that? 10k logistic science pack, nice. But I wanted to build explosive cannon shells. All we need is a long-handed inserter pointing to this chest. Yep, we got that. Plastic bars and steel plates. The steel plates we can grab from here quite easily. Also input that, and then finally we just need to split this belt here. Maybe right there is a good enough spot. We don't need to be too creative with this. You hop over here. No, actually that is connecting together. So let's turn that around one earlier. We go across like this, and then we can have a long-handed inserter and a normal one here, and then another one there to get the thing into a chest. We might want to build up to 5 stacks of them. And here we are now crafting the explosive cannon shells. Now let's take our trusty tank here, and we're just gonna make our way due north, following my power poles here. And now I can just drive through the forest. I'm still gonna try to keep as many trees alive as possible. Now let's see, where do we actually have to go? Over here to the copper field and the iron field. I'm probably gonna tap into those two first. That means we're gonna have quite a bit of pollution here as well, and just very few trees guarding us from the next spider nests. Okay, now here is the iron ore field, and I'm really curious as to how this will be planned out. We should probably just build some of these landfills, to be honest with you. I don't think this is gonna be a good outpost. But yeah, I would like to divide this up into 2 lines. Maybe we can even do 4, so we don't waste anything. And then we're just gonna plan this out. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's actually not too bad, but I think for the sake of being able to completely mine this out, we're gonna add some landfills to this. The next research is gonna be the utility science pack. We now have everything necessary to craft it. And here's our copper ore patch. Let's try that with the outpost planner. Yeah, that is looking much better and is probably gonna cover everything. And it looks like we get 3 red belts out of the system. Let's see, can I use some cliff explosives? Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab some more. But I guess we can already get started building this outpost. In the future, I would like to avoid having to build everything myself, so maybe we already unlocked the construction robotics. Getting all my miners placed, hopefully I took enough with me. I had over 100, but usually as it turns out in Factorio, you need way more than you have pretty much all the time. Construction robotics already done, very nice. Let's double down here with some robot worker speed. Okay, looks like I built everything, and as long as we don't give this power yet, it's not gonna pollute anything. I'm also gonna unlock the personal robot port. If we want to make use of the worker robots effectively, we definitely want one of these robot ports. Now I think we can risk pushing back at least one encampment here using the tank. And we're just gonna use the normal machine gun here, try to avoid some of these, and with the tank we can actually drive through the nests without getting obliterated immediately. And then of course in the end, as usual, we can just go ahead and do some repairs. We're now also gonna unlock the exoskeleton equipment that is gonna make us a little bit faster on foot. I think I'm also gonna take out this nest and this one over here. They're gonna keep on expanding, so we will have to build up some defenses eventually, but as long as I can still effectively push them back, I'm gonna try that. So now we're taking care of the next encampment, and I'm just gonna try to drive through a couple of them. We need to be careful as obviously it is slowing us down. Next up, I'm gonna go for worker robot cargo size. So we're basically now investing everything into robotics. We can actually go ahead and collect some stones quite easily using the tank without even getting damaged. And then we can just go ahead pick it up by driving over it, which is gonna allow me to build more landfill. But either way, I'm actually here for the critters, so let's take care of them. But there we go, that is another nest eradicated. Now will you look at that, this is actually quite a large one, I have to say. So we might want to be careful. Oh, screw it, we can be careful when we're dead. Okay, never mind, maybe we should be careful right now. Get those repairs done. It's gonna be slightly better with the cannon shells in the future. Another research done, logistics, robots, we need that. I totally forgot, I can also make use of my grenades. I should do that. Just hold the spacebar and shoot with the tank, but then at the same time I can launch a couple of grenades, speed everything up. Okay, looks like to me I cleared a large enough perimeter around this copper vein so that we can start to actually harvest it. We now have a whole bunch of landfill, but definitely not enough to make this even, though I do happen to have a full chest of stone back at the base. We also need a bunch of power poles, maybe some more miners and belts. We already crafted 122 explosives. I think I'm gonna limit this to 3 stacks. Also, it's now time to grab our cliff explosives. We're gonna clean a few things up a little bit. And then, as mentioned, we're gonna need some more red belts and some more yellow ones. Maybe grab a stack of the fast underground belts. Logistics is done. I guess more worker speed is necessary. In the beginning, the robots are incredibly slow. But let's also grab some miners. Maybe a couple of these inserters cannot hurt. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and craft a bunch of these big electric poles. We also grab the ammo right here and put that into our tank. Where is it? You go right there. I'm also grabbing some more ammo, and it would be nice to also get some of these grenades. Thank you. For the next research, I feel like improving my military again, so we're gonna go with stronger explosives. And then I think it would be a good idea to also set up a assembling machine that will craft some rails for me. If we set this up right here, what is this gonna need? Some iron sticks. I can already grab the steel from here. We can go ahead, get some stone in the joint as well. And then we just need some iron sticks, right? That should be easy enough. Get an inserter here and one there. This might not even need fast ones. Good, hook this up with some power, and we should already be crafting those, get those into a chest, which I used all up. And this really doesn't need to be limited. Maybe we're just gonna do 1 row, because at some point we'll have to transport it, and that's gonna make it a little more bearable. But yeah, we're gonna need lots and lots of rails in the future. We'll also be needing at least 4 train stops that I'm gonna build right now, and then a whole bunch of these signals. So I might get myself the materials to build 50 each. We are losing more and more miners. Let me just grab my stone chest, and then we can finally get those deposits going. Here I have plenty of stone. We're gonna convert all of that into landfill. It's still not gonna be much, but maybe enough to set up a good outpost. Alrighty, back we are. We crafted a whole bunch of rails, as you can see, and I also decided to add the landfills to the automatic crafting chain. This time we're featuring our first stack inserter that is capable of picking up 4 items currently at a time. So even just 2 stack inserters would be enough to utilize the entirety of a yellow belt. Let's pick up some of that landfill and a couple of these, and then we're gonna plan out the rails. I would like the delivery station to be here at the bottom. That makes the most sense, so we can feed the old system and we can also feed a new system. So I think what I'm gonna be doing is set up a rail, maybe right here, and we're just gonna bring this all the way to the top. And I think I'm just gonna do this on foot. Now I guess the only question is, are we already gonna go with a 2-track or a 1-track system? Either way, we are here at the top. We definitely have enough rails to do a 2-track system. Let's also use some of our cliff explosives to make space. And we're just gonna bring this along here for now. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you are in the way. Just go. And here we are already at the iron deposit. I'm gonna set up the station somewhere along here. We researched stronger explosives. Let's go for refined flammables as well. Even though currently we're not using anything flammable yet. Either way, right here, I just want to make sure that we start to square off a couple of these areas. Maybe also make a connection over here. And with that, we might be able to just pick up all of the ores. I'll have to see. Let's do another outpost planner thingamabob. Get all of this done and planned out. Is the coverage going to be better? No, not really. We have to add a little something here. Yeah, we're just going to add a couple of these ourselves to make it even. That is good enough for me. Let's get it built. Need to make a little pathway here. And maybe we can get another one in. Cover this bit up. Wonderful. Now, looking at all this, this might actually dramatically increase the amount of power we require. Maybe we should just go ahead and test it out. I'm gonna bring the power upstairs. We're gonna connect it right there. And let's see, now we just have to find the gaps in the system. There we go. That is covering it. Let's check our... Wow. Okay, that actually used up almost an additional quarter of our power. So I think with this system we can possibly currently harvest 2 full belts, tier 2. And our goal would be to get this into a train. Let's get rid of this shebang here. And now we need to do the same thing with the copper. So the train needs to first go up. Let's maybe take care of that. We go slightly more straight and then up. I'm gonna use my grenades here to shoot a little path, well, maybe a reckless path, but still. And we're bringing this all the way up to our copper site. Let's go here through the cliffs. We just keep going here, maybe take a little curve. Actually, that's not enough space. Let me get this fixed. We're going through here, and then if we take the curve there, this should be enough space. And then I guess as of this point, we're just making our way back. Now we just need to relay the power, so somewhere along here, and that should activate the entire copper site as well. How much power is it gonna need? Quite a bit, so we're already getting to the limit with our 20 steam engine setup. Oh, and this isn't even hooked up all the way. There, now it is hooked up all the way, and oh geez, okay, we're getting to the limits. But it's gonna stop soon, and that is gonna give us a chance to fix the power first. There, this looks about right, looks like a good distance. And I'm just trying to get a parallel rail backwards, and this way we can easily have multiple trains on the track without getting them into each other's way. This track doesn't really need to be perfect, especially the one leading back to home. Most trains will be able to drive there without interruptions. We're done with another research. I'm now going for the inserter capacity bonus. That is also going to help us to pick up the ore a little bit quicker and ship it into the train. Here we are back at the base, and I'm just missing a couple of rails to actually finish this, but it's gonna go straight down. Give me rails. I should have some more here. Actually, it's already finished crafting and we can just take more. Very nice. So imagine this is now the incoming train getting resources to the base. So we might want to set up a station here at the bottom. This is not going to be enough space to turn around. So maybe it would be a good idea to first do the turnaround. We just leave enough space so we can accommodate everything. Get this all turned around and then we can just move into here. Just gotta get rid of these cliffs and get that built. Nice. We can then add our first train station, and I would suggest we're gonna do that right here on the right side. So this is a right-hand drive system. And what we can do now is build a locomotive. We're gonna need some engine units, which we should be getting. Oh, no, because we don't have enough iron going for us, we are lacking the engines. It's the last thing in the system that gets served, so it makes sense. At this point, I'm gonna finish everything without blue signs. I think that would make sense. Yeah, I think it might be worth it getting some of these engine units. I just need 20 for one locomotive. Well, honestly, I'm gonna need 40 because we have at least 2 trains, one for the copper and one for the iron. I can already build 1 locomotive and now I need another 18. Oh, I wanna pick you up before you go. Created the first locomotive. Oh, how beautiful. Per locomotive, we're gonna add 4 cargo wagons for the time being. We'll have to think about the exact ratio we wanna use in the end. Good, we have our first train station here. We should name this base. And actually thinking about it, we might need another stop for the copper. You go, you go, you go. Let's first of all add the train stations. So we're gonna have them at the bottom with enough space. So if I set this up right here, I have enough space for a locomotive right there and also for cargo wagons. We could extract the materials towards the top or the bottom, doesn't really matter. Maybe we should think about the unloading part. Unloading should go really quickly, so I'm gonna install a couple of steel chests and we're gonna extract the materials with stack inserters. Now I think 4 chests might be enough. In the future we're gonna add designs with 6 chests per wagon. So we would be using some stack inserters everywhere to get these out, and also stack inserters to get them on top of a belt. So we are just gonna extract them the other side. Next research, mining productivity. I'm gonna need more. Now we should also be able to easily power these up with nicely spaced power poles. I'm gonna grab the power and maybe light up the place. We can have one here. Either way, what we want to do is combine each cargo wagon onto a single belt. Let's do it right there. Same thing is gonna happen here, and then we just mirror it on the other side. Now I should be able to connect all of these belts together. Let's do that right here. We can then set up a balancer, but technically this is not necessary here, at least not for our first mining rig. So I think I'm just gonna leave each line individual. This is also gonna give us a little bit more space. Or what we potentially could do is just mirror this on the other side. This might actually make it a little bit easier in the future. I think I'm gonna do that. Now I have my individual lines, and what I can do is copy this over once again. Have my next station over here, and we don't need this power pole, but everything else we can add. And what I'm gonna do is change the spot where they meet together, so in the future I can just get these out of there and have a copper and iron ore line next to each other. Something along these lines. I quite like that. Nice, let's set up the second train as well. I think in the beginning what I'm gonna do is just feed them with long-handed inserters here, and I should be able to just use one storage chest that I have to remember to fill with quite a bit of coal. So maybe so I don't forget that, I'm already gonna do it. It is now fueling up the trains. I should have enough coal. So we just pick up a whole bunch here, fill up this chest, and that should last us for a while. And now we should have an easy game turning this track around and also connecting the 2 lines. I just need to get rid of these cliffs here. Maybe I will have to get rid of the power pole as well. Yeah, let's do that. Put it somewhere else. Stupid tree. And now we can go ahead, connect these like so. And we have both on the same track again. Now we just have to make our way back into this track and also go back from here. Let's go straight down. And then we'll also have to make another intersection, one leading into this track, obviously, and then another one leading right there. The first step is done. We got the station here at the bottom, and this is also where the trains will be fueled up on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, what we could do is split the coal right here. That would be quite an easy endeavor. And then we just make our way over to this storage chest. And just like that, we have more coal available for us, and we don't even have to remember it. Better be safe than sorry, I would say. Okay, now let's just hop into a train and drive ourselves. We need to get to the other side, see if we can get things working up there as well. We gotta be a little bit careful here. I guess this is gonna be our first station. Yeah. Now, honestly, I'm not sure about only 2 lines. I think we'll have to go with all 4 lines. Kind of bring all of this down. And actually, let me see what we need in terms of space in order to turn this around. Not that much, honestly. So we could probably end up with something like this. And then we just make this long enough to accommodate the entire length of the train. Okay, that looks about right. We can set it up right here and then do a little loop-de-loop in order to get back into the track that leads back to the base. So let's hop back into the train and we're gonna make our way to the station. Well, technically driving into the station was more confusing than helpful. We can already see where the train is gonna stop. So this is where we set up the storage chests. And we're gonna do 4 again for each of the cargo wagon. Set up a bunch of power poles in between, and then of course we also need some stack inserters that we're gonna add to the crafting queue in just a second. Now we're just gonna go ahead, and each of these belts is gonna be responsible to fill up one of the stations or one of the cargo wagons. And in order to do that properly, we need to set up a balancer. Let me see if I can remember this. We need another splitter right here. Leave 2 spaces free, another splitter, leave another 2 spaces free, and then some more splitters on the side. We then need to underground belt this all the way up to here and do the same thing on the other side. And then this belt needs to go inwards. We can remove these two belts and these guys need to go outwards. And this way we balance all of the materials no matter how many of you we are getting on each line. Get rid of these cliffs. Another research done. Okay, mining speed. That is really good. That is going to help us quite a bit. I'm now going to unlock the productivity module too and efficiency one as well. Let's do productivity first. Not that I'm going to use them immediately, but it's better to have than not to have. Okay, I'm going to bring my first line all the way over here. We're going to split it up and then just make sure each of these inserters is getting one line. This is not the most efficient way to do it, but I don't think we're going to get that many resources that we need anything else. We rather tap into yet another deposit in the future. There's my second line. I'm also going to split that one up. Third line is going to go into here. And finally the fourth line right there. Get some more splitters in the joint. And then I just need to grab the materials for some chests and inserters. I'm also going to go ahead and rename this station. And we're simply going to name it a symbol, namely copper. Where can we find that? Right, no, it's iron. So that's what we're going to name it. And this way we can see at a glance on the map what this is responsible for. Let's maybe also start to improve some of our trains here with braking force. And then I think I'm also gonna set up a radar here. Yeah, sure. I want to be able to see what's going on with the area on the map. Also, of course, the pollution started now, but still looks like we're quite safe for a while. And I want to copy over the station that we have going on here. And we're gonna implement that for our copper deposit. Now we'll have to do it on the other side to have space. If there's something in the way, just press shift and it's gonna be a blueprint, allowing you to remove whatever was in the way. I'm unlocking the substation now, which is a quite powerful power pole with a wide range. Good, now unfortunately the copper belts here are at the top. What you're gonna do? We're simply gonna bring them back down again. Well, actually we don't even have to bring them to the top. Let's see, do I have the space to set up 4 belts like this? I should be able to. Yeah, so this is exactly where we're gonna bring them down. I'm gonna have to set up a bunch of splitters. Actually, at this point, we should set up another balancer. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and copy over the one we already built and we can implement it right there. Once we got some robots, this is going to be even more practical. Let's get into laser research. Why the heck not? Finish that balancer and also finish the remaining lines. Though looks like I don't have quite enough belts. Oh, actually, I might... No, we're missing one belt. Just tell me I can craft it. Okay, very nice. Well, technically we're missing more belts because we need to get them all into these lines. But then again, we're also missing the steel chests and everything. Let's actually get rid of that and get the station built. We're gonna rename this one as well. It's not gonna be iron anymore. It's gonna be copper for this one. And wait a second, I built this on the wrong side of the track. I'm such an idiot because I turned it around. So to make this work, we'll have to move this over. Thankfully, most of it was still a blueprint, so we can just cut and paste it. Oh, looks like we ran into a couple of power problems. I think I overdid it, but it's time to head back to base either way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, okay. I forgot to make the right turn there. I'm sorry. I'm now going left here. Yeah, it looks like we ran out of coal because we did not have enough of these miners just dedicated for the power system. So what we need to do is turn this around and just get some more of these miners to send the coal over. Yeah, look at that. Some of these just stopped working. Looks like we're going to be forced to also tap into a coal deposit. That is a little bit unfortunate. And we're soon going to be attacked again. Let me actually check this balance here. We need 7.2 coal per second just to supply this. And if we just take all of our coal miners, it's 15 per second at the moment. And it looks like right now with all the changes I have applied more than half or dedicated more than half to it. And just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna split this up and also lead this downstairs. It doesn't need to be beautiful. I just want to ensure that at all times we get this delivered to the power system as a priority. And now we are in the safe zone again. Of course, that is going to change as soon as we enable the mining sites. We're going to continue researching braking force, and then I'm going to hop into my trusty tank. We have a couple of explosive cannon shells now. Let's see if we can find something that is willing to be destroyed. We now have grenades and cannons, but let's just try this out. Oh, nice. Okay, that would take 2 shots. And then if we want, we can just switch to the submachine gun. Actually, if I hit it straight in the middle, it's destroying the nests with 1 hit. This is so much easier than before. And here we actually found another crude oil spot. We need to tap into that one as well. That means getting rid of another enormous critter base. Take my cannons. Yes. Is it time to research uranium processing? Probably. Oh my gosh, I ran out of fuel. No. But dude, this is so awesome. I eradicated like 5 nests already without repairing once. Let's go for rocket fuel next. Sounds exciting. Okay, it is about 10 minutes later or so, and I secured a pretty big perimeter. And there are just a couple of biters left. I believe after that we can relax again for a tiny bit. I'm just gonna make sure we don't have any new nests here north of the lake, and then we can go back to our building project. We can now see we have more than enough coal. I think it's gonna be best to replace the burner inserters now, and this is simply gonna make sure we don't waste additional coal for the burner inserters. Next, research a couple of laser upgrades. I'm gonna go for both of them. And it's also time to store a bunch of things that I'm not gonna require anymore, such as the car. Now, the lack of iron in the base has become such a huge problem that I decided to first go with fast inserters, and then we're gradually gonna upgrade to the stack inserters. So I think that is currently the only option we have. And then by now I should also have enough chests to build them in the base as well as in the mining stations. Okay, now it would be great to at least get the iron train going so we can fill whatever gaps we currently have. Unlocking the laser turret now. So let's rename this top station here, and I'm gonna name it base and then the iron ore icon. The station here at the bottom obviously is gonna be base and the copper icon. So now I can hop into the train, click the train and make a schedule for it. We must be careful to, for now, only make a schedule for the iron train, because introducing 2 trains to the system will require us to have the lights set up. But for now, let's program the train, making it go to the iron ore station. And what we want to do is wait until the cargo is full, or maybe wait a certain amount of time. Actually, I'm just gonna wait until it is full. That is enough. We're gonna make it as simple as it gets, and then we want to go back to the base and wait until the cargo is empty. And we can do that right away. So now it is going through, and we can see the path it takes. It wants to go to the station here, and of course we are riding along. Then soon enough we'll be arriving over here, and we are ready to take in the materials. Now it's gonna wait until everything is here. We will be needing stack inserters for this, but as mentioned before, getting the iron right now is way more important. Set up the storage chests as well, and then as soon as we enable this, we're gonna draw a huge amount of power. There it is. Of course it is not going at full speed, but we are still quickly filling up the train, maybe 2 minutes or so, and it is completely full. But it doesn't look like we can actually keep 4 full belts full. Maybe for this mining site the stack inserters are an overkill. But I'm pretty happy what I'm seeing here. We're just gonna hop into the train and wait until it is fully loaded. There we go, the cargo should be full any second, and we are automatically going back to the base for the unloading process. And back we are. Let's drive into the right station, thankfully, and start unloading. So without any further ado, let's bring this all the way over. We're gonna hop over here and then move up, and then we can connect these 2 lines, and that should now suffice to give us the rest of the iron that we need so desperately. We're now done unloading everything, and the train is gonna go back for another load at the station. Now, one problem we're gonna run into that these storage chests become empty, and then when the train comes back, it unloads the first cargo wagon, but not the other ones. This is usually why you want to balance the output of the product, but we can also solve it in a different way. If we just check on the train, we can click it right there, and we can add another condition. For instance, we can set time passed, and we might want to set this to a higher limit. Let's say we're gonna give this 120 seconds. Actually, we don't have to do it for the loading portion, we just have to do it for the unloading. Time passed here 120 seconds, and if that has passed and nothing else happens, then the train is gonna go back to the loading station either way. Good. Now, in terms of rail signals, we have 2 types, the rail signal and the rail chain signal. One simple rule that you can memorize is the rail signal you can only place if after the signal you have the space for an entire train. And another simple rule, the rail chain signal you want to use before intersections. So let's say we add a chain signal right there. We do the same thing here for the other train, and now both of the tracks have a chain signal. At the end of the intersection, I have the space for an entire train, so we can set up a rail signal. And this is now going to divide this intersection into various colors, and the trains will do their best to not drive into each other. We're going to do the same thing right here. There's going to be a chain signal because it is before an intersection, but we can have a rail signal at the end there. We can even add it here. That might be wiser. Just add it as close as possible to the intersection here. And that means once the train is fully in the purple line, the next train can go into the other station. So generally, no two trains can be in the same color. If you don't want trains to wait here forever until the other trains are gone, every now and then we'll have to add a bunch of rail signals. Just one here, and you can see now the train at the station is just waiting until no train is in the yellow part. So technically we could set up one more here, for instance, do that on the other side as well. Just divide this into a couple of segments, maybe one more halfway up. Whoa, 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 okay. Well, that scared the crap out of me. By the way, I kept researching all laser stuff. We're now at laser shooting speed 4. Very nice. Now here we have another intersection, so we need a chain signal first, and after the intersection we need a rail signal. The same thing counts for this one here, so this can just continue. The train is gonna go into the station. We add another rail signal or chain signal here before the intersection. There is also intersection here. We want to add a chain signal for the line that is coming back from the copper station, and then we just need the rail signals, the normal ones. So this is out of the intersection. This intersection is done here. Give me more. And now we can see only the intersection is in yellow. We might want to divide up this part. We're gonna keep going up, make more divisions. We only really need the divisions if we have many trains going for it. And this here is only a loop without any intersections, so we can just set up a rail signal there. And that should be good in my opinion. So we can go ahead and set this up, get the rest of these belts built. Just missing a bunch of storage chests and inserters. Let's have a quick look at the power usage. Yeah, that's what I figured. We need to be careful. But I guess it's now time to program the copper train as well. We want to do the same thing. First go to the station here to full cargo, and then go to the base empty cargo, but also time past the complete 120 seconds. And then we can get this started. So it should come back and the trains will make sure not to bump into each other now that we signaled it all. Wonderful. Train is incoming and it is being loaded. Beautiful. Now we just have to improve on our power, and we introduced our first trains, and we can now easily tap into each of these ore spots. I do recommend to first take the next step, which we're going to do in the next episode, and that is to introduce personal robots that will construct these mining sites and make it much easier on me. And we don't have to waste all that precious time building the blueprints ourselves. By the way, let's have a look at this mining site. This is producing 64, so only 2 full red belts and then some. Yeah, future mining sites are gonna be way more profitable, but we have to get started somewhere, right? And there we go, full cargo. So we're making our way back home and we're driving past the iron train that is being loaded once again. We're driving into the copper station, unloading, and this is just gonna happen a couple of times. We don't actually lack the copper right now. Now look at this, we actually go through the iron quicker than I anticipated, so we'll have to at least introduce 1 or 2 more belts. But I think in this case I'm just gonna go with the balancer design we have here. So I'm gonna wanna introduce that right there, and we can input the rest of the lines. So now we're still capable of introducing lines to other furnace systems, but each of the lines is gonna be used up equally. We can see they are all moving at the same speed there. And now another train is incoming. It can be unloaded completely. We can then build the same thing for the copper, maybe into the other direction, because mostly we're going to be needing it on this side. And we do the same thing here, balancing the materials. Yeah, this looks acceptable. I do like it. But I would say with that out of the way, we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. In the next one, it will be time to introduce robots. Even if it is just to build our blueprints, it's gonna be so useful. Mostly because we need to tap into way more deposits. We need coal, we need more oil, we need most likely even more copper and iron. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.